The skeptic mind is important to consider for how and why it's in the condition that it's in, okay? Now, what you have in terms of context, and this is important to call out, is you know why they think the way they do, right? And so what that gives you is context in your communication with them and your messaging. And when you fail to call out the things that you know they're actively thinking in their head, you're failing to use messaging best practices. And messaging best practices, again, just simply mean I can say the problems, circumstances, and desired outcomes that they're thinking in their head out loud. So let me give you a perfect example of this. On your opt-in page, describe it to me real quick. Is it as simple as like a headline and then an opt-in?
Yeah.
No BSL or anything like that?
No.
Okay, so this is a perfect example of why your opt-in rate's likely only 11%.
Yeah.
Let me guess. The headline is something that makes some kind of claim based on some kind of process you're going to show them or system or strategy,
Yeah.
right? So when there's an entire market of people that you're exclusively selling to that you know think you're full of shit and you failed to address that you are full of shit or not, what do they naturally think?
That I'm full of shit.
100% of the time, a skeptic's going to bias, even if you do show up, by the way, that you're full of shit.
Yeah.
Okay? Remember, and I mean this very literally, you have to drag them to each specific step in the process. There's a very important thing to point out, which is a very interesting thing. There are certain skeptics that exist where life is over for them. They no longer in any way, shape, or form go out there and attempt to consume anything from the perspective of being proven wrong in their way of thinking.
Yeah.
They exclusively go out there in the world and attempts to prove themselves right, that everything is a scam, that everything is against them. And a lot of people will believe it or not, whether they're that type of skeptic or the other one I'm about to describe, they'll come through and still think that regardless. Yeah. It's a shared thing in skeptics' minds. But that type of person, they're trying to stay skeptical. They're trying to prove that they're right in their way of thinking, okay? Now, the second type of skeptic, they've been fucked over a lot, okay? But they don't lose the desire for the outcome.
Yeah, that are the people that are still buying, right? Yeah.
That's exactly right. Yeah. So when you look at these specific statistics, this is actually very interesting because it looks like you have that type of skeptic coming through.
Because they're
stats
showing up, right?
That's exactly right.
A lot of hope.
Your show rate's at 32%, which is a hopeful statistic.
Yeah.
Your retention rate's at 90%. That's a very hopeful statistic. Your booking rate means realistically you're not staying in the close long enough.
Yeah.
You're not doing enough objection handling. You're not doing enough risk reversals. You're not doing enough repitching of angling from different perspectives of why the person would do it. And realistically, you're not actually talking in the way that I do. You know, the one thing that I say time and time again, I've actually peppered it in a few times here in this very session that we're a part of right now. I say, hey man, Germans are highly skeptical and highly pessimistic people, right? And like, if you watch this back yourself, you'll like smile and you'll laugh and you'll be like, yeah, man, we are. You know, it's like, that's context and messaging, right? When I say about the Australians, the words tall poppy syndrome, nobody really knows what that is besides Australians because they exclusively deal with it and it's a part of their societal norm.
Yeah.
Like it's literally a part of their culture and how they are. They know that about themselves. And when I say that out loud, they're hearing it from an American and they're like, whoa, like dude, this guy really understands me, you know?
Yeah.
That's cool. You are likely not leveraging nearly enough of the context that you actually have on these people. You're ignoring it. And as a result of ignoring it and not actually talking about it out loud, there's an entire demographic of people that are absolutely seemingly hopeful and enthusiastic skeptics that you might actually have a system that's different than what they've previously gone through that could actually get them the outcomes that they clearly still desire. It doesn't seem like they're capitulated skeptics that have completely given up on their lives. These types of skeptics, realistically, based on the stats, have hope and are still seeking something. They're skeptical in a different way. They're skeptical in a way where because they've invested into many people that look, sound, and appear like you, they naturally compartmentalize you in that box. This is a part of human nature. Back in the day, in terms of where this trait came from, if we're out there foraging for berries or we kill the wrong animal and we eat it and it's bad or poisonous or yucky, we need to know that and remember that so we don't go out there in the world and forage again for the same stuff and die, right? Or get poisoned or hurt or sick or ill. So we have this inherent place inside of our brains that's solely dedicated for remembering things that have fucked us over and that could kill us, right? And nowadays, the things that could technically kill us are all financial things, more so than life-threatening things. Does that make sense to you?
Absolutely.
So this is important to consider. On the 11% opt-in, let's start there. Your page looks, sounds, and is just like everything else that's already fucked them over.
You're absolutely right.
I know. And 8 to 9% of people leave because of that, right? And so the first and most important thing to actually leverage on that page is a differentiator, right? And ideally not just one. You need
Do you have some examples? Like
I'll tell you a perfect one. There could be a few to be fair. So the first of which is the page design itself and how it's formatted. If your page looks like every other page that they've gone through and have all these guys that have done big launches and screwed them over and shaped German law around how hard they fucked people over, it's like your pages can't look like that.
Yeah.
In terms of the specific things that you say, there could be an added section on the page that literally deals with the skepticism. And I mean it like very literally. If you just add an extra section right below that main one that just says something like, could be the headline like, look, I get it. And then below that, it's either a VSL of you explaining yourself, or ideally a handful of very verifiable social proofs that they can go and look at themselves. Let me give you an example of this, okay? They've likely seen a whole bunch of testimonials before from other people that may have been faked, or that, simply put, even if they were real, they didn't get results like that. So it's not something as simple where you just show like a bunch of screenshots of what people have done. You need like somehow verifiable people.
Yeah.
Right. Now, in different countries, there's different ways to quote unquote have like verifiable social proof. Is there any specific system in Germany that you guys use, like maybe a company that verifies that people are legit in what they claimed that actually still has belief from the German population? Let me tell you something I do as an example.
Yeah.
Whenever I show some kind of screenshot of a testimonial, a result, or an outcome, or even if it's a video, I put the person's full name.
Yeah.
That way somebody could go